we'll just love to hear more about the Christel House story and a bit more about the organization behind the school and how the school provides for the students.
Christel House was started in 2001. We're a non-profit, no-fee school. So when you do come to our campus, you'll see we've got a junior school and we've got a high school. But what makes it really unique is that we are a charity. So we are completely donor-based. And what makes the model unique is that we've got all these extra support programs that try and really provide support to our students where they otherwise would not have get that from home. So we have a clinic, we're a full-on social services team. We bus our students in every morning and bus them home. We've got about 13 buses that transport the students from their homes and back to school. We've got a college and careers department, so we particularly try and not only get our students quality education from grade R to grade 12, but we support them for 5 years post-matric to get into university and to really find that first employment opportunity that can put them on a career path that will get them out of poverty. So the big focus for Christel House is to actually break the cycle of poverty, and that's why we only admit students who come from very impoverished households on the Cape Flats. So we don't pick for talent. We believe that all students have an innate ability to succeed and innate talents that can put them on a career path out of poverty.
Thank you for that. And Adrian, I think this would be more directed to you. After all the uncertainty that came with obviously COVID last year, how do you think Christel House transitioned from pen to paper to a more device-oriented environment?
It's been a real change for us, if we put it in that way. I know most of the people, especially with us, we've had a long-standing partner in Dal. So part of that would have been is that, kids will only get devices at school. None of them would get devices to take home or parents or anything else. So it was really pen in the classroom, and then somewhat of a hybrid mode of technology blended in. So in terms of that, there was a very slow kind of pace moving forward because everybody's used to what's comfortable and what's easier. And then we had a plan basically because part of our strategy as a school is to really get to a digital part for all our learners, because that's really future-proofing. We can write on pen and paper, that's easy, but moving forward for the future, you have to move with the cognitive skills by learning how to type, learning how to navigate a PC itself. So that was kind of our plan, and it was kind of being blended in as we went along. So that really was a big shocker for us because before COVID even hit our shores, we were already trying to plan what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, what would be the ups and downs of it. It was really the uncertainty of, would we be able to do this digitally or would we be able to do this pen-based? So up until this day, I'm really happy to say that, we've risen to the challenge to actually have them both in our environment. And we kind of seen the benefits of each and other complementing each other.
Awesome. As you discussed before, you mentioned that previously you only had devices at the school, so students could only use them at the school. So having had that previously and then shifting to them having it, obviously there were some challenges that were faced in between. So from an IT administrator's perspective, what challenges do you think you faced and how did you overcome those challenges?
Ironically enough, we had the prior year trialed some Android devices with our grade 12s, and we actually used the built-in parent and learner or parent and child profile within the device. And then when we had a survey with the learners discussing what they found was working for them or not, they said it was very restrictive. They couldn't do anything. If they had to make changes, they would first have to wait till they get to school. So that was a real learning curve that we had to embark on, because there's a lot of mobile device management software out there. I mean, that's when we even did our research on it. It was so encompassing because everybody promises the world, but once you start rolling it out, you start working with it. It's not really the case. That's why even when we approached Mobile Guardian with the initial one, I mean, it was so amazing by setting it up within a week for us. We're getting it deployed to everybody. And within that case, we also learned, the do's and don'ts, as well as how this will affect us in terms of moving forward. And this is really where I have to give Mobile Guardian up for this one, because just by implementing some of the key features that you guys really have, we've been able to really narrow the way our learners work, but also control from a IT perspective, where they can go to, what they're allowed to do, what they're not allowed to do. Just as an example, we had an event last year which required certain websites to be open. So, normally with an MDM, you can't do a deployment, but it's bulk. So with this one, it was very easy to separate our college and careers and our current matriculants for them to have a better experience moving forward. But it's also the type of maneuverability that you have, because, I don't have to explain to you how Mobile Guardian works, but there is a competitive software which our other learning center uses. It's not on the same level. It doesn't do the same meticulous reporting or the meticulous type of analytics that we're looking for. And we've really been able, for me as an IT administrator, been able to take that information and kind of deduplicating it to best practice, whatever we're doing on site as well, just to better protect them from an IT perspective and a management way.
And looking back from when the devices were rolled out to the present day, how would you think that your approach maybe has changed in terms of how you use your devices in the school?
Well, when we started with the whole device rollout, resources is always one when you need to set up these things. And our plan of a 1-to-1 ratio was, like I said, being blended into the school. And that was kind of a 3-year project. And when COVID hit, it was all hands on deck, everybody in, and everybody just had it to basically pull their weight. We have only lost really 3 days academic for last year. And that really is one of the biggest things that we're happy for. And the proof is really in 100% pass rate for our matrics. Our teachers really came to the party. They really embraced the new way of teaching. And they've literally said they don't want to go back to the normal way because it's a seamless learning process that happens. Learners are at home, they're busy working, they come back to school, they continue on working. It's just that non-stop ability to reach our learners at any given time that has really helped us to get to the next level. And I know we always talk internally that, because our children are so impoverished, when they used to go home, all learning would stop really, because there's no physical communication with the teacher digitally or any other way. And what we found is that with the transition from a pen and paper to digital, learners can contact teachers at any given time with a question, and our teachers are always there to assist them and to get them to their dreams really that they want to get to.
Thank you very much for that. And are there any stories maybe that you can think of that you've heard of from staff members, even students, on how Mobile Guardian has helped them?
We had an incident where a device was stolen out of one of our learners' homes. And the device was really stolen. They contacted us within, I think it was an hour and a half, they made contact with us. And within that an hour and a half, I was able to load data onto the SIM card, do a geo ping, and actually give to the T geolocation to where the tablet was at that real time. We were able to hand it over to police, and they were able to trace it and find the culprit within less than half a day. So that's just to the power and the accuracy of what the software really has.
Thank you for that story. Over to you, Francois.
I can just speak from a general data perspective. We were super scared sending, all our high school students were able to take tablets home. Adrian and all our other IT guys were literally just, in like crash mode going, what do we need? So a big risk concern was that sending the students home with the units would not only put them at risk, because obviously they stay in areas that are quite dangerous, and we thought if people know that they are walking home with tablets and things like that. It might make them a target. But on the other hand, we were worried about the data and the usage, and how are we going to control it? You can put software on the tablet to control what sites you visit on the tablet, but you can take the SIM card out. You can't put those blocks on the SIM card. So, and I think within the first month or so, I think a few students kind of depleted their data pretty quickly. But the fact that they knew that we had Mobile Guardian, and that kind of like Big Brother is kind of watching what they're doing, I think really put the onus on them to be responsible users and responsible digital citizens, like we all need to do when you're at work or at home or so. And so I think it was a valuable lesson for them, not only to take ownership of their own academics, and if you deplete your data, then you can't attend class anymore, but also to kind of give them a bit of an education into digital literacy and the sort of risks that are out there, that if you go to strange sites and stuff, that you can be hacked and those kind of things. So I think, and having the Mobile Guardian software on all of their devices was a nice extra sort of, from not doing things that they weren't able to. I think it was a very valuable lesson for us and for the students to have Mobile Guardian on it too.